In this video, we're going to talk about a difficult subject to discuss, and that is domestic violence. I get a lot of calls here at O'Mara Law Group about either people who have been charged with domestic violence or people who are victims of domestic violence. And one question I get is, how or why do you do both? So let me answer that. Everybody who is involved in the court system deserves good and adequate representation. When you're charged with a domestic violence event, you need to make sure that you protect your rights, because it is a very serious offense, and the court system looks at it very closely to make sure not only that they deal with the situation that is there presently, but to try and fix the future. And if you're a victim of domestic violence, of course you really need somebody to help you through the process. Even though the court system gives what's called a victim advocate, I would suggest that you consult with and probably hire an attorney of your own, because it is a very difficult, time-consuming, and frightening process. But I will tell you this, if it gets to the point where a criminal domestic violence event has happened, whether you're the victim of it or you're the perpetrator of it, things have almost gotten too far out of control. There are a lot of resources out there for people who are involved in circumstances where domestic violence either already exists or is coming. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is one of the best ones, but there are dozens of organizations throughout the community that can help assist with domestic violence. In these days of hyper stress that we seem to be under in this country, whether it is the politics or the outside influences or whatever else is happening, domestic violence rises at times of higher stress. And we're seeing that increase in domestic violence here in the criminal justice system. It's not going to be fixed by the court system, no matter how hard we try. It's only going to be fixed within the family and within the community. So if you know what's going on either in your own relationship, or you see it with your sister or your brother or your next door neighbor, you really need to try and get as affirmative as possible to bring in some type of outside professional help. Domestic violence not only leads to violence to the victim itself, but we know that there is a cycle of violence that happens. And what that means to us is your children will learn that domestic violence is acceptable if you perpetrate it or if you're the victim of it and you allow it. So you have to be as proactive as you can to protect yourself and, quite honestly, to protect the next generation if we're going to end the cycle of domestic violence. So if you've been charged with a domestic violent event, if you're the victim of a domestic violent event, do a couple of things. One, go to our website, omaralawgroup.com. We'll have a list of resources there for you to look at, or give us a call here and we can go over your rights and responsibilities and what may happen to you on either side of that equation. So give us a call. Thanks and be safe.